Z mano pa že Karl Reiter, ki je vodilni strokovnjak danes na konferenci o mobilnosti, o aktivni mobilnosti, ki jo srečuje, tako so jo namreč poimenovali na Ministrstvu za infrastrukturo. Karl, nice to have you here. We were just talking about your opening slide. Can active mobility be connected to our apps and to everything that is connecting us in this area and now?
Yeah, of course, there exists a lot of information also on your phone, which guides you from A to B. But if you want to know what can I reach in 5 minutes or 10 minutes by bike, there is a nice program offered by Bike Citizens, and you can get it, and it will show you what you can reach in 5 minutes, 10 minutes. For instance, in Ljubljana, but also in Maribor and many cities around.
Depends on how fast you drive your bicycle.
Yeah, you can fill in, I'm a slow cyclist, or I'm a normal, regular cyclist, or a fast cyclist, and then you can see how far will I go.
You research the mobility and the cities.
Yeah.
What will you talk about today on the conference?
Today I will talk about active mobility. Active mobility is everything what you do with your energy, body energy, and a bit assisted by electric. It's walking, cycling, and all other instruments where you can go from A to B using your muscles.
What could Ljubljana implement in comparison to other cities that you research? You come from Graz, if I understand correctly. What could we do to increase our level of mobility, of our level of active mobility as well?
Yeah, Ljubljana has a really good starting point and a very brave policy in changing public space from car space into living space. And this is really a strong starting point. And that's why we use Ljubljana also as a case study for other cities, especially because you took out main roads from the car traffic system and put it to for cyclists and pedestrians. And of course, there are really advanced cities. They do it already since 20 years to promote cycling and walking. One of these cities is Freiburg in Germany, near the French border. And they have more than 50% of all trips done by walking and cycling. And this is a bundle of measures which should be done. It's let's say, supportive measures for cyclists, but also regulative measures so to reduce privileges for car use.
So the
and
carrot
this works together.
The carrot and the stick.
Yeah.
So how do you motivate people to go on a bike, to go by foot, without restricting them from their cars?
I think it will not work to do only, let's say, motivational things. But this has to work together, especially if you, let's say, allocate space for cyclists, then you have to take it from somewhere because you cannot use you cannot, let's say, make more room in cities because this is the bottleneck, yeah? And then you have to transform car space into bicycle or walking space.
So everything, the public transport plus, you know, the walking and cycling places need to be connected and working together. Yeah. Are you researching the public transport as well? Could there something be done better in Ljubljana?
We do, but what we find out, the public transport is very, very important for metropolitan areas, for big cities, which we don't have in Slovenia, and for the connection of the surroundings with the city, to have a good public transport to bring the people into the city and out of the city. Within the city, the active modes are much more, let's say, better for the overall system, because they don't have only a transport issue, they are also very important for the public health system, because we have really a problem with inactive people. So people who don't move anymore this half an hour a day, which is suggested by the World Health Organization. And if people would walk more or cycle more for normal trips, to shopping, to work, and so it would be a big health benefit for the entire population.
Yeah, this is actually a good motivation.
Yeah.
We have read a research from American Neurologic Association that says that if you are cycling, well, not professionally cycling, but cycling every day, being active, it also improves your sex life.
Exactly. This is also one of my slides. It's a very new research result and can be also supportive, but it's also good for your brain, for the memory and for the brain activity. It reduces heart diseases, all these things, the overall mortality rate. So it's really good for the individual and it's good for the, let's say, for the system because it saves costs in the health system.
What about the pollution in the cities?
Yeah.
Some are afraid that if they are outside, breathing the air with full of NOx or CO2, that it's better that if they go to the gym or somewhere else.
Okay. Yeah. The effect of being active instead of being inactive is much higher than the negative effect of being in polluted air. It depends how long you are active in polluted air. If after 3 hours a day, 300 minutes, it's
300 minutes, it's
5 hours.
5 hours.
So it's maybe for cycling couriers a problem to be all the day in polluted air. But if you are less than 300 minutes in polluted air and you are active, then you have a positive effect.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Of course. All right, thank you very much. Have a great conference, and I hope to see you either in Ljubljana or in Graz again. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks.